Hello again, friends. Carlos Scalpero here, VA mortgage specialist with Epic Lending and Military Mortgage Bootcamp. Today, I want to talk a little about getting a VA loan after having a bankruptcy. Unfortunately, things happen in life and bankruptcies happen, but luckily, the VA mortgage process is a very fair process, and it is okay to have a bankruptcy on your credit. It's not the end of the world, but there are some things to keep in mind. So like any other mortgage loan, the VA does have a waiting period after bankruptcy. And so there are different guidelines for a Chapter 7 loan versus a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. And I'll go through those in a sec here. So the first one is on a Chapter 7. And so for those of you that don't know the difference, a Chapter 7 is one that you don't pay back, where you tell the lawyer and the judge all your debts and they wipe the entire thing clean. That's a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So with a Chapter 7, they look at the discharge date of the bankruptcy, when it was discharged from the courts. And just like with FHA and just like with conventional, that waiting period is 2 years from the discharge date. Now, unlike FHA and conventional, there are some extra rules where on a VA, you can go as low as 1 year with a few conditions. So the VA specifically said if it's under 1 year, forget it. They don't even want to look at it. It's not worth their time. If it's more than 1 and less than 2, they do provide exceptions. And here basically what it says in the guidelines, I took some notes here, that if it's due to circumstances outside the borrower's control, such as unemployment or medical bills. Also, if it's due to loss of a business and the borrower can prove that they went and found a day job somewhere, then that's perfectly okay on a bankruptcy. Interestingly, it says divorce does not count as unforeseen circumstances. I thought it was really interesting they added that to the guidelines to make it very specific that you cannot use divorce in that scenario. Now, just because it is allowed after 1 year doesn't mean a lender will approve that. Most likely it will be in a manual underwrite. So you'll need to find a lender that is okay with doing a manual underwrite, because I can guarantee that's going to be a manual underwrite for that. And a lot of lenders are like, well, we don't want to mess with that. And they'll just kind of shoo it away. A lot of loan officers are the same way too. They're like, well, you know what? It's too much work. I don't want to mess with it. See ya. Or maybe they just don't know how. That's entirely possible as well. Luckily, I'm a loan officer, that I'm a mortgage broker and I have a lot of options. And because VA is my thing, then I'll find a way to make it work. If there's a deal there to be had, then I'll find a way to make it work. Now so those rules are for Chapter 7. Again, 2 years with no excuses needed, but if it's over 1 and less than 2, possibly. Chapter 13 is a little bit different. So Chapter 13 is one that you go into a payment plan, you have to pay it back. And so VA guidelines are actually the exact same as FHA, which says you need to be in the payment plan for at least 1 year, have 1 year of payments, on-time payments to the bankruptcy trustee, and can prove 1 year of payments to the trustee, and don't even have to be discharged from the bankruptcy. You're just making those payments. If you are discharged, that's certainly easier, but it's not required. Typically in those situations, you'll need permission from the trustee to buy a home. They'll look at your budget, does it fit what you're buying? If you're going to go buy a $500,000 house and you had a bankruptcy on a $100,000 house, that might be a problem. But maybe if you're downsizing and buying a nicer house, then that could certainly, or downsizing from a bigger house to a smaller house, I'm trying to say, that fits your budget. Or maybe you're selling a house and have all this equity that you can cash out and are buying a little house. They would definitely like that, because now all of a sudden you have a little bit extra cash and you're improving your financial situation, and judges definitely love that. So those are the VA rules after bankruptcy. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. My number is 937-572-3713. I can also be reached at scarpero.com. I am licensed here in Ohio and several other states. I can certainly help you there. If you're outside of areas where I'm licensed, feel free to reach out as well. I'm connected to loan officers all around the country that can help. Look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks. Bye.